Hey everyone, we love to go and explore in our RV, but one of the things that it helps me stay in my budget is to prepare food ahead. It not only makes it so much easier by the time we need lunch or dinner, but it's also saving me money because I'm not buying food on the way or where we are at. So if you're on a budget and you still want to RV and eat delicious food, hopefully, this series will help you. These are just baked taquitos made out of chicken, and we usually have them with pico de gallo, which is something that I'm going to share with you in my next recipe, and a little bit of sour cream. They are delicious. Everyone that have tried them in my family love them. They're very easy to make, to freeze, and to reheat whenever you're ready to have them. So I am going to start with a mix of seasonings. You can use this mix also if you want to have it just ready and put it on chicken when you want to put it on the grill. It really tastes really good, and it's what it makes the chicken taste good while it's baking, and also the mix that we're going to put afterwards. So I have a half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of cumin. Try not to make a mess like I did over there. A teaspoon and a half of oregano. I'm also adding a little bit of garlic powder, not garlic salt, but garlic powder, 1 teaspoon, whole teaspoon, not half as we were doing it before. I'll put all the measurements in the description box down below. Also, a teaspoon of onion powder. And again, this is just the onion powder with no salt or any kind of salty ingredient that they mix into the other. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. After that, I'm also adding half a teaspoon of pepper, and we are going to mix all the seasonings. So once they're, you mix them really well, you will be able to add them to the chicken. But it's really important that you mix them so you don't get a lot of salt in one of the chicken pieces and, less on the other one. So I'm gonna move on to chicken. These are just four chicken breasts. I'm adding a little bit of oil. You can use olive oil, you can use canola oil, whatever oil you have. Make sure that you cover them really nicely. And because this is going to be what is going to make the seasoning adhere to the chicken. After you do that, just add half of the seasoning mix. So, just keep an eye if you're going to keep it in the same container or separate half of that seasoning mix and make sure that you cover the rest. Now, it's going to be enough where the chicken is going to look a little bit red, and that's the main point. Try to massage it, try to kind of really rub it into the chicken so that way the seasonings are going to go a little bit deeper and it's going to make the chicken taste amazing. Now I'm putting this on my grill. It's a 400 for about 30 minutes. I'm going to flip them, halfway, but after that they will be done. Well, while that is cooking, I'm gonna put the other half of the seasoning, 3/4 of a cup of cheese blend, and then I'm going to mix that really well. Make sure you do this before you add the next of the ingredients because otherwise sometimes the seasonings don't get spreaded that well. And if you do it with this cheese, it's much easier. Then you go to the grill. Hopefully they will be ready after the 30 minutes. Just make sure that it's at the temperature that should be. I've never had a problem just following the 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I then like to kind of rub it against the aluminum foil just to make sure that I grab all the spices and whatever oil it's left to make it extra tasty. Then I'm going to shred the chicken. I mean, there's no techniques to this. Whatever makes you, work for you. If you don't like to shred chicken, you can cut it. Whatever works for you. Just make sure that the chicken is really nice and thin. And then after you do that to all the chicken breast, you are going to add the chicken to that mix. You're also going to add 4 ounces of cream cheese, and that way you're gonna make the mix of the chicken, the spices, the cheese that we added before, and then finally the cream cheese is going to kind of bind everything together. Now make sure you have a huge bowl. I didn't have mine ready, and because it's going to make mixing this much easier. Now taquito time. You're gonna have just the plain tortillas, and you're going to fill them. Now if you do really thin, you're gonna get more. You can get up to 12 with this recipe or measurements. But if you would like to get them a little bit thicker, then of course you're gonna get less. So basically, what I do is just put a little bit of the filling and then roll it, and that's it. I mean, I try to put the part where it closes, just like that to the sides, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's no science to making a burrito, and I'm sure you do know how to do this, but again, you just put the mix inside, you roll it once, then you work on the sides just to make sure that it won't go from there or it won't move from there, and that's pretty much it. Then the bottom is going to go the part where it opens the tortilla, and it's going to go in a cookie sheet with a little bit of aluminum foil. Now you're going to continue to do this until you're done with all the filling, and again, you're gonna get more if you put less. This, what I'm putting on the tortillas right now, it's pretty big. It's almost like a burrito and not so much as a taquito kind of thing. So if you want to make it last, or if you want to make the 12, make sure you put a lot less than what I'm doing right now. So, but whatever works for you, you're gonna find the perfect measure for your family. So after you're done, you're gonna have your taquitos, and you can bake them at this point for 400 degrees for 15 minutes until they're crispy. Now I usually just flip them half the way through, maybe 7 minutes, 5 minutes, kind of depends, just to make sure that everything gets really nice and gold. Now how to freeze. After that's done, you're just going to wait until they're cool. Then you're going to take it in with the same, cookie sheet, and the same thing, you're going to put it like that until they freeze. After that, you just put them in a bag and you can keep them in the freezer. That way, it's going to be easy. When you want to reheat them, you put it to 400 for 10 minutes, and they will be really nice, hot, and very yummy. I hope that you try this recipe at home, and that helps you simplify the cooking while you are camping or you are RVing, or simply if you want to stay home and have something in the freezer for dinner, something that everyone is going to love. So I hope you enjoy it. Check out the recipe in the description box down below. I'll see you on my next video. Bye, guys.